Ladies, gentlemen, extraterrestrials, there's no basketball today. What am I supposed to do with my life? What do you people who don't watch basketball do with your lives? It's probably real boring. I gotta find something really boring to do. This sucks. If Minnesota, y'all couldn't force a game 6 at least. God damn. The Knicks forced a game 6. Y'all couldn't do the same. Listen, I understand Indiana and OKC are different opponents, but goddamn, bro, I gotta go a day without watching basketball. This might be the worst day ever. This might be. Anywho, the least we can do is get some basketball content out there. Welcome back to the MC Show. It's your boy. Last time we spoke, there was no team that has advanced to the finals yet. Well, the Thunder, a few days ago, advanced to the finals after beating the Minnesota Timberwolves in 5 games. Pretty dramatically, may I add. Pretty dominant, or I should say, that should be the first word when it comes to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Dominance. Then yesterday we had the New York Knicks force a game 6, beating the Indiana Pacers by, 24 points or something like that. We're going to get into all of that, but first and foremost, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all help would be greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. I appreciate all the support I've gotten so far. Let's keep it up. Let's grow this community, and let's keep talking hoops. We're gonna start off with the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're a team that has advanced to the finals. To quickly recap, Game 4. It was a trio. They're 3 best players. They're 3 young stars. Shea with 40, J-Dub with 34, Chet with 21 points. Oh, excuse me. I dropped my stuff. That was Game 4. Which they won on the road, of course. And then the closeout game, Shea with 34, Chet with 22, J-Dub with 19. I don't want to get into too much big picture stuff. I gotta save some content for the offseason, Their 3 players, their 3 best players, the oldest one being Shea, and their best one being Shea, is incredible. Shea is 26 years old. Chet is 24. J-Dub's 23. These guys all clicking at the same time, at the best time. I can't remember in the previous 2 series where Shea, Chet, and J-Dub were all cooking multiple games in a row. J-Dub struggled against the Denver Nuggets. He really, really struggled to score the basketball consistently. Chet would get his here, get his there, but pretty consistently this series, you had Shea, Chet, and J-Dub all cooking at the same time. That's incredible, man. That's really, really incredible. This team, led by those 3 guys, are going to be a force to be reckoned with for many, many, many more years. And the league should be scared. If you're in the West, you should be scared. The only thing that can mess up this team is injuries or money with the new CBA, but Chet and J-Dub are going to have extensions coming up. Shea's going to eventually have an extension coming up where he's going to be making probably north of $70 million. But this team, led by those 3 guys, they have good depth. Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso. Imagine you're Anthony Edwards and you go and you have Lou Dort guarding you, and then Lou Dort comes to the bench and you see Cason Wallace checking in. Or you see Alex Caruso checking in. They had that man in hell. They had him in hell. This team's defense is unbelievable. It's been their calling card this entire playoffs. Their offense has been shaky. It's been good, it's been bad, it's been up and down. Their defense has been consistently dominant and aggressive the entire postseason. There was a play in Game 5 where Anthony Edwards posted up Shea. And here comes on the baseline. Here's Isaiah Hartenstein just peeking over. And then on the other side, at the nail, is Lou Dort, and it's just Anytime Anthony Edwards drove to the paint, he literally saw all 5 players guarding him. If you want to know why he struggled because he essentially was playing, I don't want to say 1-on-5, but he was essentially getting defended by all 5 guys at the same time. Every time he drove. Their ability to just guard, force turnovers. They forced 21 turnovers in games 4 and 5. I had told y'all. I had said it. Now, obviously, I'm not the only person to say it, but if the Timberwolves wanted a chance to win this series, they had to keep the ball away from OKC as many times as possible. Cannot turn the ball over. And what did they do repeatedly? Turn the ball over repeatedly. And some of it is forced. A lot of it is forced, I would say. A lot of it is them in passing lanes, them swiping. I think the thing maybe people aren't talking about is their defense is super duper aggressive. They average the most fouls as a team per game in the regular season. But with the way the officiating has been this playoffs, it favors their defense because you see Alex Caruso guarding Nikola Jokic, fouling him the ton, but he's small. Nikola Jokic is big, and they're not calling anything. They're letting guys be aggressive. They're letting teams play against one another. It's like, it's helping them. They can force a lot more turnovers. They can be even more aggressive than they normally are. It's incredible. Anytime Julius Randle touched the ball, I was like 85% sure it would result in a turnover. Between the 2 games, games 4 and 5, I want to say he had like 8 to 10 turnovers. Their defense is suffocating. I said it before. I find it really hard for teams to be able to consistently score 100 points against this team. And again, their offense hasn't been all that, but Shea can get whatever he wants. How many times are we watching the Minnesota Timberwolves soft guard him? It was so frustrating watching them play. Like, they were not in his grill at all. He would be directing traffic and slowly backing up into the mid-range. Anytime he's at the top of the key, it's, hey, you go over there, you go over here, while simultaneously dribbling and taking just like an inch forward towards the basket. And then once he gets into the mid-range, it's money. How many fadeaways at the nail was he doing and making? A bunch. They're so unbelievably constructed. They have great culture. Mark Daigneault is an elite coach. Elite roster by Sam Presti. Doubling down on defense. Getting Isaiah Hartenstein in free agency to help with the rebounding and the defense. Allowing Chet to play the 4 and the 5. Allowing Mark Daigneault to be versatile. You can't do anything but tip your hat off to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The first finals since 2012 with a young Westbrook, a young Harden, a young Kevin Durant. They absolutely deserve to be praised. And one more thing before we go to Minnesota a little bit. Where are the people who kept saying this team is too young to make it all the way? Where you at? I had Oklahoma City going to the finals. I didn't think any team in the West was beating them. I thought they were too dominant. 68 and 14 is unbelievable. But anytime I would hear any of the big names talk about Oklahoma City, it's we don't believe in them because they're too young. They're 68 and 14. That doesn't matter how old they are. Shea is the MVP. It doesn't matter how old he is. They have a defensive identity led by Mark Daigneault. Like, it didn't matter. I watched Oklahoma City and I can see that they're a championship team. But for some reason, nobody else saw it. Where are they now? Where are you at, Gilbert Arenas? Where are you at, Marcus Morris? I had to call you out because I keep seeing them disrespect the Thunder. Before the playoffs even started. Now they're in the finals and they're going to be favored against whoever comes out the East. Doesn't matter. To talk about Minnesota, I just sort of dived into it. Anthony Edwards had a tough series against a really good defense. They forced the ball out of his hands. They were like, listen, anybody but Ant. Essentially was the defensive game plan. We're not going to let Anthony Edwards kill us. If you want to beat us, Jaden McDaniels is going to have to average like 25. That's not happening. Julius Randle is going to probably have to average like 30. That's not happening. And who else is gonna be that superstar guy to give you the offense that Ant's supposed to give? if they take him away. You can't trust anybody on the team. And game 5, I was watching in the first 6 minutes, Jaden McDaniels had like 6 shot attempts and Anthony Edwards had like 0 or 1. Maybe he had 1. But like they were funneling, though Jaden McDaniels continually taking shots, and they were not even bad shots. They were open, but continuously funneling shots to anybody but Edwards. It really stalled Minnesota's offense the entire series. And then you have Julius Randle, who you need help. You need help bailing you out of certain things. He can't get it done. He had 8 to 10 turnovers between 2 games. Besides like the first half of game 1 where he had like 20 something points, he's been awful. And you're coming off 2 series against the Lakers and the Warriors where he was fantastic. And that this series doesn't take away from the fact that Julius Randle was good these playoffs. But when you needed him most, he vanished like the Avatar. Rudy Gobert. I understand people get on Rudy Gobert, and I totally get it. I understand. But Rudy Gobert, his offense is a problem. That's the reason why he gets played off a lot in playoff series. He can't give you 15 points. He can't punish mismatches like other bigs can. He can't do that. Ivica Zubac is a better offensive player to this at right now than Rudy Gobert. Both great defensive players. Obviously, Rudy Gobert, whether you like it or not, is an all-time great defender based off his accolades. But the offense is an issue. He fumbles the ball a lot. He's sort of awkward and can't punish mismatches and whatnot. It was a big problem. Their bench was great. I give it up to their bench. I thought Donte DiVincenzo was good. Nickeil Alexander-Walker was good. Naz Reid was okay. Naz Reid also was someone who kept turning the ball over a lot. So, but like, if you take away the turnovers, which is something you can't really do because it's the bread and butter of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Naz Reid wasn't bad, but compounding that with the turnovers, like he was really up and down to me. And they really, really needed him to score the ball. He was shooting fantastic in these series in the playoffs. Against Minnesota, all I ever saw was turnovers. He would hit a 3 here, a 3 there, but I thought he definitely needed to be much, much better. I'm not gonna do too many big picture stuff. I gotta give y'all some content for the off season. But Julius Randle is gonna be a free agent. I forget if he has a player option or not, but even if he does, he's gonna opt out. He's gonna be a free agent. He's gonna want a new long-term deal. Does this change? If you're Minnesota, does this change your outlook on Julius Randle? Maybe. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is gonna need a new deal. Naz Reid is 100% opting out and wanting a new deal. Those are going to be the few things I'm going to be looking at if you are Minnesota. Anthony Edwards is still 23. He is still a great player. He is still ascending and getting better. If you're Anthony Edwards, got to find a way to be able to score against a defense like that. Be able to play a little bit off the ball a little more. I felt like if he doesn't have the ball, he ain't doing nothing sometimes. Do something. Do something when you're off the ball. Cut. Set a screen. Do something. Especially when this defense is this aggressive. Like you gotta find a way to get open. And trying to score 1-on-1 or trying to, get a switch off, pick a roll, like they all guarding you. You gotta be able to switch it up and be a different offensive player. Nonetheless though, Minnesota, fantastic season. I don't know how well other people look at it. Getting to the conference finals 2 years in a row is very impressive, especially for a franchise that doesn't really have a good record of playoff success in their entire franchise's history. So they struggled a lot when they got Julius Randle. Then when Julius Randle came back from an abductor injury, they really took off, was able to get the 6th seed and go all the way to the conference finals once more. You can't do nothing but tip your hat off. But there's going to be a lot of questions coming up for this team and this roster construction. Moving on to the New York Knicks, who forced a Game 6 against the Indiana Pacers at MSG. We're going to start with their defense because I thought that was the story of the game. Their defense, I don't think either team's defense has necessarily been fantastic these playoffs. But whoever like can get consistent defensive stops can win this series and will win this series. Indiana's offense has been crisp throughout these first 5 games, but the Knicks were in their grill. The constant ball pressure, something that Indiana tends to do. Their constant ball pressure on every single person who had the ball. Their switching, their communication, them stalling their Indiana's offense, making them less pass happy. You know, Indiana's offense is a lot of movement, a lot of passing. They pass the most in the association. The Knicks taking away that sort of fluidity to their offense really stalled them out. And then when they were able to get stops, at times they're not a fast team, but there are times where they can get out on the break and get a score, whether it's Josh Hart, who Stan Van Gundy repeatedly, and I agree with him, repeatedly talks about how Josh Hart is a really good fast break down back and forth player. He is. Miles, maybe McBride gets in, he pushes the pace a little bit. But they did a fantastic job of just defending the Indiana Pacers. And on offense, Karl-Anthony Towns with a really good a game. Brunson, 34 points. He had 14 in the first quarter. You could tell this was going to be a Brunson game. You could just tell. He hit like his first 3 shots, and I was like, oh yeah, he's finna cook. He was finna cook. It didn't matter who was on him. Aaron Nesmith has done a fantastic job on him, but you know he was finna cook. You know he's finna cook. They wasn't going out like that. Got to give him that credit. Karl-Anthony Towns, I mean, if I had a nickel for every time I see Karl-Anthony Towns drive the basketball and get either an and one, or just draw a foul, or just straight up just make a layup, I probably wouldn't be talking to y'all right now. I'm going to be honest. Miles Turner cannot guard him one-on-one. Miles Turner gets blown by every single possession. It doesn't matter whether Karl-Anthony Towns is driving left. It doesn't matter if he's driving right. If he's driving at Miles Turner, he is getting blown by every single time. And it's the difficulties of guarding Towns, because Towns obviously is a fantastic three-point shooter for a big man, so you don't want to give him space to get it off, but then you give him too much room and he could just drive to the basket, and Miles Turner is very slow-footed. And he just gets past him every time. And you would think Rick Carlisle would switch that matchup, but he hasn't. Now, over the past couple games, you definitely seen a little bit more Pascal Siakam on Karl-Anthony Towns, but I wouldn't say for the majority of the game Pascal is guarding Cat. I would still say it's Miles Turner, and Miles Turner has done a very bad job of guarding Karl-Anthony Towns this playoff series. You have a good game from Mikal Bridges. 6 for 12 points. Nothing crazy, but just gives you a couple baskets here and then plays good defense on the other side. OG Anunoby didn't necessarily have a good offensive game, but I just thought all the starters played well. All the starters played well, specifically on defense. Indiana, we talked about them struggling. Pascal Siakam really struggled. After a really good game 4 where he had 30. Obviously the game 2 he had 39. Pascal Siakam has been fantastic. He's such a good player. I hope NBA history doesn't forget about how good Pascal Siakam is, because the guy can score in the mid-range. He can get to the basket. He's been shooting the 3 very well in these playoffs. He's just a really good all-around player on offense. But he really struggled. And Tyrese Halliburton, you can't approach a game 5 closeout like that. 7 shot attempts? You coming off a game 4 where you have 32, 12, and 15 with 0 turnovers. The first game like that in NBA history. And you come out in game 5 and you're not aggressive. You don't look for your shot. You know, one of the reasons why they won Game 4 is because when Tyrese Halliburton got into the paint or got to the mid-range or was open for three, he was aggressive and looking for his shot, but for some reason in Game 5, he didn't look for it. He was way too passive, and if they want to close out this series and not blow this 3-1 lead, I need Tyrese Halliburton to get his stuff together. Be aggressive. Stop looking to give up shots. You need to get to the basket, get 2 feet in the paint. Good things happen when Tyrese Halliburton gets to the paint and is able to either score or distribute. He cannot come out like that again. He cannot do that again. Game 6, I'm looking for Tyrese Halliburton to be ultra aggressive the way he was in Game 4. He usually bounces back after losses. I'll give him that. So I'm not necessarily like worried, but I just can't see a performance like that in Game 5. Even if they go to the finals against Oklahoma City Thunder, he has to be aggressive again. On top of that, you have Andrew Nembhard, who 2 really bad games. Low-key has not been a factor on offense, or I don't even think his defense, which is usually very, very good, I don't think it's really been effective. 6 points, 3 points, back-to-back games. He has to be better. Turner again with the defense, and if he's not scoring on offense, it feels like what's his impact? If he's not able to guard Karl-Anthony Towns, then or even guard Mitchell Robinson by boxing him out well. And Mitchell Robinson is a great offensive rebounder. Obviously, he's in the starting lineup now and whatnot. But if he's not able to defend, and he's also only taking 3 shots on offense and not scoring 15 to 20 like he usually does, then what's the point of having him on the floor? Turner, you got to be better. 20 turnovers. This is a team that doesn't turn the ball over a lot, but 20 turnovers, that's not good. And I think like Miles Turner had like 4 of them. They can't turn the ball over. You're giving the New York Knicks extra opportunities, and your defense hasn't been elite to be able to slow them down. You can't give the Knicks extra opportunities to score the basketball. Take care of the basketball. A couple good things I would say is TJ McConnell has been pretty good off the bench. Benedict Mathurin, who, if I made a video before Game 4 and 5, I was going to rip him because he has not been good. But back-to-back games where he has 20 points, he's getting to the free throw line, he's being ultra aggressive off the bench. They need that kind of game from Mathurin off the bench, especially if one of the starters is not cooking. Shout out to Mathurin. Shout out to Ben Shepherd. I think has given them good minutes. Now, can he stop Jalen Brunson? Absolutely not. Jalen Brunson has been cooking him. But he competes and he shoots threes pretty good. I like his minutes off the bench. But, again, the starters have to play a little bit better. The bench guys, I don't really have too much to complain because this game is on the starters. It's on Nembhard to be better on both ends. It's on Tyrese Halliburton to be more aggressive. It's on Pascal Siakam to be a little bit more efficient. And it's on Miles Turner to be able to affect the game on either end of the floor. I'm not panicking. I had Indiana winning this series in 7 games. If they lose in Game 6, might panic a little bit just out of my prediction. Being right, I want to be right in my predictions. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. It happens. But I would panic a little bit if I'm an Indiana Pacers fan if they lose Game 6. I would expect them to be favored, and I would expect them to win. But you never know in these playoffs. The Knicks are, 6-2 on the road or something like that. But I definitely expect better from Indiana, and Indiana should expect the same level of intensity from the Knicks in Game 5. We'll see tomorrow who wins. Does OKC meet Indiana in the finals by the end of tomorrow? Or do we get a Game 7, which is obviously the 2 best words in sports? I will be there to cover it for you. Well, when I say there, I meant here in my home, in my chair, covering, reviewing, letting you know what I see in these games. But until then, thank you guys for listening and watching. Please, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video and get this video out to as many people as possible. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.